I don't necessarily know if there is one specific obstacle that is preventing the retainment of young professionals. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world. I've done business in 30 countries. With that, you get to see a lot of different things. What I think about is areas like in San Francisco or in Paris or Buenos Aires that they have trendy, upscale, yet affordable housing. And I really would love to see that in Green Bay. A lot of times when you think of trendy, upscale, or trendy, it's expensive. And they have pockets like within San Francisco, San Antonio, Paris, Buenos Aires, where they have it. It's almost like a young professional village. You know, in the South, Arizona, Florida, you have the older people, the retirees that have a village. In these cities, they understand in order to retain a young professional, you need affordable housing, but it really has to be kind of trendy. And then with that come all those different amenities of an open park area, trails, and it's just really cool, and I'd love to see that in Green Bay. And I think we can do that. I think there are developers that are interested in providing that. Gracias por esta pregunta. Es una pregunta muy interesante para nuestra comunidad. Okay, I said thank you very much for this question. It's really an interesting question for our community. I do speak Spanish and Portuguese, and in today's world, you know, we have 20,000 Latinos in Brown County, and many of them live in the city of Green Bay. I'm the only candidate that speaks Spanish and certainly has a network within the Latino community. Diversity and inclusiveness, I've signed the CEO pledge that the Chamber and the United Way have asked for diversity and inclusiveness, so I understand that. I'll give you a perfect example. It's not about what you say you're going to do, it's about what you have done. So I was a director with First Security Credit Union, and I was recruited to go to Wells Fargo as a vice president. One of the aspects of that, or the deal, part of the deal was that I brought two people with me, and those two people were Latinas. And I didn't bring them with me because they were Latinas. I brought them with me because I know how great of work that they were doing, and I knew how well they were going to just explode when they got to Wells Fargo. And at Wells Fargo, I managed and ran the University Avenue location. I hired 16 Latinos, maybe 20, and what I did was, because of that area where there's a lot of Latinos, I was able to foster that welcomeness and trustworthiness to the community. And I took that branch at the level it was, about an average branch, and made it one of the most profitable branches for Wells Fargo in the entire Midwest. And I did that not because of diversity, but I did it because I know and respect the people that are in that community, and I know and respect the people that I hired would do a good job. So it's a matter of saying, you know what, it's inclusiveness. And the inclusiveness is finding people. I will have a Latino in my cabinet. I'd like to put them on the RDA. I think that's great. We have so many people of all different backgrounds that have just wonderful qualities and abilities to offer. And so, you know, and I know them all, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time. As mayor, I'm not going to prioritize any of those 4 areas. I was a young professional myself at one time, and now I'm an older professional, no longer young. I was one of the 40 people under 40 you should know by the Chamber of Commerce, and that was 10 years ago. So I understand that the young professionals want all sorts of different areas. As mayor, it's not my job to say, this is priority 1, this is priority 2, priority 3, so forth. It's my job to say, okay, young professionals, let's sit down, let's get engaged. You tell me what you want as a young professional, and then as mayor, we work together to make it happen. I'm not a young professional anymore. So when I think of what I wanted when I was in my late 20s and 30s, is a lot different than what the young professionals want today. So I'm not going to prioritize that. I think if anybody prioritizes it, that's very dangerous, because they're taking the power away then from the young professionals and they're bringing it to the mayor's office. It's got to work the other way around. The mayor has to say, okay, young professionals, What do you want? Okay, this is what you want. Well, then let's figure out a way that the mayor's office and the city can fulfill what the young professionals want. I'm excited about the young professionals in our community, and I want to make sure they have a voice, and for me to follow it. That's what, as an elected official, I do. I listen and work for the people. So I'm not going to take any priority. I'm going to work with the young professionals, and we're going to make sure that, matter of fact, all 4 of those areas are taken care of.